Hey guys, we're starting in Canada, we're driving to Texas. It's going to take 2.5 days to get there. We're going to hit the big resis, smaller lakes, different places all over eastern Texas for the smallmouth buffalo and the common carp. Stay tuned, like down the bottom, hit the bell, stay on this channel and keep watching, and I hope you enjoy this video. Tight line, boys. Smallmouth buffalo, the carp, and anything else that will come along in these massive bodies of water in the USA. Please stay tuned, sit back, grab a coffee. Hopefully you'll enjoy this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Well, this is the dam on the biggest lake in Texas. I don't know if you can see to the right. You can't see. You can see the other side, you can't see straight ahead of you, but it's just blue, so it just looks like the sea. I mean, that is, I mean, we're on top of the dam now. You can drive the whole top of the dam wall. This is holding back 150,000 acres. Look at that, that is just, it's unreal. You just wouldn't think. You can see to the left, look at the structure of it holding it back. That's really wide to actually hold that pressure back from that dam. Well guys, I made it anyway, over 250 miles. Took like, I don't know, 4 3/4, 5 hours or whatever. I mean, I stopped over and picked up supplies and that, as you see. Yeah, it's dead calm now. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful little park. It's a free park. You'll have 4 nights for free. These rods are about 65, 70 yards away, but on grass down onto the sand, as you see on the video as I was sticking up. So yeah, I'm over a ton. I'm between 100 and 110 so yards out. I think it's 24 wraps, and I'd say it's about 25 to 30 foot deep. It goes down 12, like 11, 12, sort of, and then it just goes, it just completely just bowls quick. And I'm just over that ledge and on the bottom of that ledge. So hopefully that's where the buffs are. So I picked up a couple on the sounder, on the deeper. We've got to have the deeper in the arsenal because that helps really quick. You know, it just tells you really quick before you muck around with boats and stuff. Anyway. I ain't seen nothing crash or heard anything crash, but I've just I put out about 3 kilos of corn and probably 2 kilos, 2.5 kilos of the big range cubes, and spreading them all out there. I don't want to overbait it, but I don't want to underbait it, if you know what I mean, and not stop them. So if there's some form of bite in the night or the evening or early morning, and then we can assess it and whether it's to put more bait in and do another night or not. But we'll see by tomorrow about, you know, 9-10 o'clock. There's no rush. See how it goes, see if we can get some form of bites or anything. And I mean, this is a new lake to me. This is over 180,000 acre lake, and it's the biggest one in Texas. So if I get a bite out of it, I'm made up. Even if it's 18-pound common, you know what I mean, or whatever it is. I mean, just to get a run, you know, especially on the first night, it'd be a bonus. I had to drive around, had a look at a few parks, went over the dam as you see on the video, looked around and stuff. There's some back bays and that, but I didn't see anything to show, and to get near the water, and it's a long weekend for them down here in the USA, in Texas. So all the like the points and the parks and the tent camps and that are all packed till Tuesday, which is fine. I ain't got a problem. So I've jumped into this little park here, and so it's free for 4 nights. So, and it's got a shower and a toilet, literally like a 2-minute walk. So happy days. So camp out the van. Hopefully it works. Hopefully you get that old blur. See if we can bank one. See if we can get one on video. I'll be absolutely made up if I do. I'm going to get on some scran now. The sun's just dropping. Bait's out. Everything's sorted. Get some food in me. Get the TV going. Get a bit of, I don't know, Corrie or whatever. Get something on. Watch a couple of shows and see the sunset and see what happens. Tight lines. Right, here we go. So in the other lake, I've done the evening, the night and the morning, absolutely dead. It was a bit of a public area, so it was a little bit noisy, so I got out of there. I'm just blowing up the boat, as you can see. Yep, I've got all the gear. There's the van, there's the swim. So there's a bay. Well, it's one big huge bay. There's a little bay to my left. It's all pines. Free camping. I'm here on my own, which is ace. Drive right down here to the water, and that is a bay. And as far as you can see, is the dead end of the bay. So this is just one arm of the lake. This is the lake next door. I've just jumped on it. So I'm going to do the drop-offs at about 150, 160 yards. So I'm going to take the boat out, drop a marker, bait up. I'll show you that. And then, yeah, I'm going to drop the York baits out there at that distance as well. And go from there. And then stick it in, I think it's at about 25 to maybe 27, depending how far that actually shows. It's a nice gradual bottom, sand and grass bottom, so it all looks spot on. Just whether the fish are coming through into this bay. It's 59 degrees the water, 59 degrees, so I don't know if they're coming into the bays to spawn yet or what. That's why I want to try and keep in the deeper channel further out. So I've only been here like an hour, just getting all the gear ready. I've got the rods in position, as you can see. Gear's thrown all over the place in a minute, so I'm just filling up. Alright, then I'll sign off, do some baiting up, go out, do some echoing, check out what's going down out here, and give it a, hopefully I want to try and give it 24 hours, see what happens here. Rods are out, just dropped them one at a time, put a pack bait on this size. One of the locals at the other lake was dropping them by bait boat. He was putting great big piles on like that, and I hopefully let them whittle it down. So I put great big piles on and just lower them down on the bottom from the boat, as you can see behind me, the old Raptor. So anyway, all 3 rods are out. I don't know actually what distance that is. I'd say it's about 140. Yeah, about 140, 130, 140, something like that, yards out. It goes down very gradual. It looks like there's no snags, what I've echoed. It goes down gradual, goes down to 13, 14, 17, and then it seems to drop a little bit to about 21, 22, and then it flattens out, and then it goes down to 24, and then it goes 25, 26. I went on the 24, so I dropped a marker straight under 24, and I put 10 kilos of range cubes out, quite tight on the marker. I didn't want to spread it, so I tightened it up, because within an hour and a half they're all going to melt down to mush, and it'd just be like a mush on the bottom, so there'd be just a smell, and it's all molasses really. So it'd be a mush on the bottom, so it get, it released some attraction. And then I put about 3.5 kilos, about 3.5 kilos of corn, and put that tight over the top of all the mush as well, and then dropped great big like that size packs. Can't cast them obviously, big packs like that. I've got the curved shank, size 4 curved shank, and 1 tiger nut on a D, on a sliding D. So I just want to try something, because I mean, this is a different lake to the other lake, but the other lake was getting a lot of pickups and drops and pickups and drops. So I just wanted to curve hook, whether that it would like hook them before they actually drop it. So it's just something to play around with, as all carp anglers do. We all muck around. So give it a go. I love this spot. An eagle flew over me just now. I'm hearing woodpeckers and that in the pines here. And there's no one around. I mean, the boat's channel is right over the other side, so that's obviously the deep channel in the middle, which is the other side there, really. There's no houses around here. It's completely barren. The odd locals come down and light a fire and do a bit of fishing here, but it's really clean. It's clean, so no one's you know, abusing this spot here, which is good. Yeah, let's give it a night and a day till tomorrow. And then hopefully I'd love to stay here because it's such a beautiful spot. It's so secluded, it's pines, it's everything we need. We've got the depth at range with the boat. It's all baited up. It looks like there's no snags. It looks like it's quite small, quite gradual drop-offs. I ain't found no trees. The only trees in the water is probably you can see behind me. There's a row of 3 trees. That's all I can see. Other than that, I ain't found any snags. Not yet anyway. So you can see you probably see a boat at a distance there, bass fishing going along the back there. Right, I'm going to sign off, get some scran in me, relax, and whether it's a night spot, whether it's at any spot, we don't know yet. We don't know. I ain't seen nothing show. It's quite warm. It's about 73, 74 degrees. It's a bit too sunny and warm for my liking anyway for buffalo, but can't pick weather. Tight lines, boys. Laters. Well, I'll just show you. These are just in the edge. The old swan mussels. That means quality water and rich and a lot of food in here. Look at that. Hey. No wonder the old buffs got up to 80 pound in here and 40 pound carp. Maybe bigger. Oh, look at that. Nice one. Well, morning anglers. Yeah, yesterday it was 85 degrees. It was so hot. I didn't fish. I just drove around the whole lake of 145,000 acre lake and looked in loads of different places for that unique spot. Didn't really see anything. It was so hot, so I thought, no, I'm just gonna venture around, have a good look around. I've moved next door into another lake. Yeah, this one is like 190,000 acres. Just pulled up here late last night, didn't fish, just camped and had a good sleep. I might have a little fish here. I might drop a couple of rods out just to see, you know. Don't know yet. It looks lovely out there this morning. Well, guys, so I drove to a lake on northeast Texas, and it's 4 feet up, so it's unfishable. All the swims are taken, as I've said earlier in the video. But then I went down to a smaller lake that's just only got carp in, and that's got a spillway, so it was exactly like perfect level. Fished it for the night. A few fish crashed, but just a few cats and nothing worth talking about. It's colder up there, so I've just drove 150 miles south, still in Texas, and it's double down here. It's like up there it was about 7-8 degrees, going down to -1. Down here it's like 15 degrees, goes down to 7. So it's a lot warmer. And the water temperature here is a lot warmer, even though it's close to 200,000 acres. Yep, 200,000 acres. I'm not going to say the names of all the lakes because they're targeted by the bow hunters down here. So I'm just going to keep it hush on the name. So, but this is the 3rd lake now I've looked at. I've only done one night on that carp lake. So this is one of the main lakes that I wanted to look at. This is the narrow end. Look how wide this is. This is the narrow end. I mean, like at about 50-60 yards, it's 32 foot deep. So it's got a nice like drop off all the way along this edge. Never fished it, never fished this lake. I'm going to give it a go, and I'll just span round and show you where we are. There's the van. We're right on this point, and I don't know if you can come back here, but it's lovely. It's all full of pine trees, free camping. Look at that. Only in Texas, eh? You won't get free camping with pines and a nice road coming in. You've got bins, toilet, everything's here. So it all looks spot on. There's a big back bay, as you can see in here. That's a back bay. As you call it, a back bay. It's, I don't know, it's got to be 250. Well, it's probably 200 acres or so back bay here. So I'm going to keep my eyes on that, but fish the main drag behind us and just to keep an eye out on this bay. It's 21 foot in the bay, and it's like 32 foot or so out in the main drag. Well, after extensive depth finding, feature finding, too far out, you're about 120 to 140 yards, which is cool. I've got a bait, I've got a boat and an electric outboard, but it's full of catfish in here. So if you don't cast from the bank, because you're casting quite a bit through the day, if you're catching cat after cat after cat, especially in the night, you got to go out in the boat and keep placing the bait. So like going out pouring the bait, pouring a load of bait out there and that's cool, you know, that's all right, and cast to it, and it works. In Texas it works. There's so many little catfish, and you imagine going out 140 yards with 3 rods, get back 20 minutes later, you got cats on all 3 rods, you got to do it again. I mean, there's 3 foot waves out there, side on. So basically half the time you're not going to be fishing. So I want to be out cast about 70, 80, and I don't mind going out in a boat to bait up. But there you go. I'll just show you this. This park's perfect, but it's just too shallow, too close. I'll just spin around and show you driving through this park. Well, there we go again. All the gear out of the van. Oh, I've got to trap it down this bank, down the ledge there, and it's all sand bank down the bottom, and then fish out there to the ocean. I'll give it at least 2 days now. I'm going to bait up heavy. I'm going to sit on it, see what happens, see if I can get a bite out of this biggest lake in Texas. Right guys, as you see, I had all the gear out of the van, just got here, just put a marker out, and it goes out quite a long way, about 5, 6, 7 feet to about sort of 60, 65, and then it sort of drops to 12 and then runs at 12, and then it just bowls over, and it goes 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and it sort of flattens a little bit, and then it just goes 34, 38, 40, just drops. So I went out on the boat, checked it out, spent about a good half hour out there, dropped a marker on the 31. So behind that, it just keeps going to 40 odd feet. So I've got like comes up to like 27, 26, 25, and then it sort of plateaus a little bit, and then it sort of jumps back up, and it jumps up to 12 feet pretty quick. So I'm on that little bit of a ledge, and then it drops down. That's what the echo was picking up anyway, and that's what the picture I've made up in my head, because I went out with I had the marker set at 31, and then literally went a boat length more, and then you let go, and then the whole marker just disappear. It completely just drops over like that. I don't think I want to be in 38, 40 feet. I think that's too much. It's 59 degrees, that's on the Echo, so it's picking up the foot just below the boat really, so that's the top layer. It has been very, very warm. It's like 24 degrees now, cloudy, drizzly, really muggy. I'm sweating, as you probably can see. Yes, and it's like 20 at night. It was 84 yesterday, so it's been really warm. So the top layers are obviously warmer, and today's really windy. It's a southerly wind blowing away from me, which is good. I don't think I need it blowing at my face, because I can't see the other side of this lake. So if it was blowing this way, I'll have 3-foot waves here, and that's basically unfishable, isn't it? So it's going to be blowing that way for 3 or 4 days. So to me right is the dam, and it's huge. It's a huge dam, and it's got a cliff face that runs all the way from the dam right up to this edge and stops. And then this is like a little park, and then it bends around and then goes round to houses and stuff. So yeah, so I'm in this park, and I'm on the edge of where the cliff is with all the rocks, and then it goes for about, it's got to go for like half a mile, and then it hits the dam, and it runs obviously right across to Louisiana border, and this is just on the Texas edge of the state line. So any fish that comes from the dam, if they do, and they come along that rock face all the way along, there's no boats, no houses, it's dead quiet up there. So if anyone, any fish come from the right, they're obviously going to get here first on that ledge if they're at that depth. Fish can come from this way obviously, but it's houses and there's boats and there's some bass fishermen. It's a bit busier, but 30 odd foot deep, you ain't going to bother the buffs or the carp. So I don't know if the carp are like the 24 feet, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I've caught them 24 feet, so I can't see it being a problem. But I want the buff. If I have one buff out of this lake, I've got 3 days sort of thing. 3 days, maybe 4 nights here. I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to keep piling the bait, and just keep on it. And if I get one buff out of this swim, then to me I'm done, because the size of the lake, and to find a buff, especially hopefully a biggish buff, but any buff will do, even if it's 18-20 pound, as long as I've caught one, do you know what I mean, out of this lake. And then I'm done. Then I'm jumping over 2 weeks onto another lake, and I've got a campsite, as I've said before, campsite booked, and I've fished it before, and I've done well from there round about this time of year. So I can't see why not. They're not moving through that section again, but time will tell. That's next week. So anyway, I've just tied up some rigs, 4 1/4 ounce grippers, fox grippers, to hold the pack. So I'm going to pack it up and cast to it. It's only about 70 yards chuck actually, which is, thank God. If it was further out, I would have to boat out and backwards and forwards, which would be a pain in the ass, but I can cast it, so happy days for that. So yeah, short trace, that's like a 6-inch trace, nothing tremendous. As everyone knows me, I don't play around with rigs. I do play around with rigs, but I always fall back to the old basic stuff, because that's what works. So I've just got a tail rubber on it, so when you put the pack round it, it sticks out. When you cast, it bends it round the ball a little bit, and it just helps from tangling. That's all, nothing tremendous. And then that's a Calder Danny Fairbrass's hook, the internal curved hook. Can't think of the name of the hooks. I'm terrible with names on stuff. 2 tigers soaked in fruit teller mainline, and a pop-up plastic just to lighten it up, because I'm putting maize and I'm putting molasses pack out there, and I'm putting cubes, range cubes out there, which is molasses as well. So it's mixed with the maize and that. So if they want the maize, or if they want the tiger, they've got a bit of both, haven't they? So size 4 hook. A lot of people like 8s and 6s and things like that for buffs, and they're very, small buffs, yeah, they've got are like a sort of an inch and a half mouth. But when you go to 40 and 50s, they don't go much bigger, but they grow, you know, they go to about a 2-inch, maybe 2.5-inch round. But it's big enough. I mean, I had buffs on the last lake from £15 to £62, all on that hook. So it doesn't matter, does it? Obviously, I like a good hook, especially it's curved and it's got a beak that comes in, because I'm on the drop off and it's quite rocky down there, and I don't want to do the hooks when I'm reeling in. So yeah, so that's the rig that I'm going for. Whether it's the right rig for buffs, but it's the right rig for me. So that's all that matters. A bit of confidence, isn't it, at the end of the day? So yeah, so nothing special. Just thought I'd show you. And I'm using £80 mainline. It's a Power Pro. I've got 80 straight through from the reel. So like 100 yards is max casting with this thickness of line. But obviously this is 70-yard chucks, that's an easy one. But you need that for the rocks and the terrain out there. And there is the odd snag. I haven't had a fish from this swim yet, so you don't know. A fish kite's right, left, and all of a sudden it's around a snag. You didn't even know it was there. So if it is, I can go out in a boat. I've got a chance to get it in with this. So yeah, so happy days. That's it. Nothing else to really report. There's me famous glugged up. They're about 6 years old now, in fruit teller, glugged up, look, all sitting in there pretty in the old juice. Oh yeah, they love that. I've had loads of carp in on the St. Lawrence, and carp all over the States on that. What I've been doing, I've been using my aniseed. I used aniseed all the time on my earliest part of this video when I had the fish till 62, and I had a 60 and a half, and I think I had 650s and all that. It was all on the aniseed. But there's a local guy there at Fishes, and he just used molasses, like neat molasses. And I thought, well, I've never used it. You know, it's like, oh yeah, I'll try that, you know. So I've just mixed up some molasses, and because the range cubes have got molasses in it, so if they're sucking up like parts of the range cubes, it's molasses, and obviously you pack molasses, and it all just matches, doesn't it? It all makes sense. Even though I've caught well on the CCH aniseed, but I'll just try something different. You know what I mean? It's just chance and error, isn't it? You got to have a play, ain't you? So anyway, sign off. Going to get these rods salted. That's the first rig. I've got 2 more rods to go. I'm going to get the rods out. It's all baited, ready to go, and I'll report back later or tomorrow morning to let you know if there's anything like this in the bag, or it's a downer. Laters, boys. Well, morning, guys, in the life of the Canadian carper. Or say Canadian Blanca. Well, I don't know what to say. I've done 3 nights in 3 different spots, and one spot I see a couple of small commons crash over the marker, but nothing. The other spot's blank, not even seen a fish. And this spot, I've been told by a lot of good anglers, and who have fished it as well in the last year or two. Seems to be mainly in like November, December they seem to fish it, after the summer heat and the water's still warm, but the water's only like upper 50s, at 58, 59, which is okay, but that's on top. You know, I'm in 24 feet, and then it drops over and goes down to 50. So that water down there might be just too cold. I don't know. I think people have caught in March, early March here, but I know we had a cold front here about 3 weeks ago. 2.5, 3 weeks ago, there's a cold front. So I don't know. I'm fishing on top of the ledge. I've got one down the bottom of the back of the ledge. I've got one just in front, like back a little bit from the marker. Baited quite heavy last night. I had 3 sort of quick bleeps, like did, you know, probably cats, no doubt, but 3 times through the night. But that was it. Absolute dead. I ain't seen a fish roll, seen anything, no signs of anything here. So I don't know. I'm a sort of moving angler. If I don't feel it, gut feel it, then I sort of pack and run. But the trouble is, I've been moving around a lot. I've got a 9-foot blow-up boat, which is an effort getting there and blowing it up and bringing it back on your own, just to do one night. So I think I'm going to hang in there and do another night here at least. And if it's dead again by tomorrow, then I've got to skedoodle off again. I can't sit here day in, day out, knowing in my heart that there's no fish here, unless I get some form of sign today and tonight. But other than that, I don't know. I know there's a couple of other guys fishing somewhere on this lake, but it's 79 miles long, so you could be anywhere. So I can't sort of go and have a chat and bump into them, sort of thing, you know. But yeah, I mean, I'm using the same sort of tactics I did up in the other lakes, and I've done really well on the buffs. I fished the Colorado and caught a few commons, so it's like I'm not doing nothing wrong. I know I'm not, so I don't know. I don't know if I'm just falling on to the wrong spots. Well, the fish are just not there at that time. Time will tell. I'll sign back later. Laters. Now we got a controlled burn along here, as you can see there. Look, that's how they do it. It just burns up the bank, burns it all back. All forestry are doing the old control burning. Well, what can I say? I've been to three lakes. I think this is it's the fourth lake now. I've only fished one night in 5 days, so I've just been driving around. As you can see, sun's rising now. I'm on a new lake. I've only been here about an hour. I drove another 195 miles to another lake. God, how many miles I've done, I don't know. Hundreds and hundreds. But yeah. Apparently there's been a few buffs out of this place in the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks, so let's give it a whirl. So yeah, the weather's brutal. It's -1. It's cold and it's really windy. It's like you got about 1.5 foot waves out there crashing up right in your face. So it's everything's against you. It's not normally this cold for this long, and the amount of rain that's been coming. Water's chilled right down. Normally it's a bit warmer now, like down the south of Texas, but it's not. The water's freezing. So yeah, I think it's going to be tough going for at least another week or two. I still got sort of 3.5 weeks or so fishing here. So fingers crossed that a buff comes along. Yeah, all you can do is put the time in and just keep pushing through and just hope this cold front shifts. I think it's Saturday today, and I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's going up in the sort of 23, 24 degrees. So it'll be a bit more comfortable anyway. All right, I'll sign off. If I get anything later, hopefully, fingers crossed again, hope the carp gods are with us. And yeah, laters. First fish of the trip. 54 on the main line. Look at that. Over a load of range cubes. First take. She's over 50 odd. 54. I think 54.4. Look at that. Here we go. 53 pounds, second one on this trip. First day on this new lake. Some more to come. But someone on the bank has done a 69, so they've outdone me a little bit. There you go. This is day 2. Day 1 I had a couple of low 50s. This is 49. First take of day 2. Look at that, that's a nice buff. Weather's changed a little bit, dead calm. Went out a bit further, we're about 100 yards out, over a bucket of range cubes and the old bit of main line and the CCH method mix. Look at that. 49, first take, day 2. And there we go, it's the third one today. 49, I'd won about 15 pound. This one's 55 pound on the nose. Look at that, on the old Tigers, soaked in bit of mainline gear. It's on a slow day, but look at that. One of these will do for the week actually. 55 and counting. There we go guys, 55 just now. This is 52 off the other rod, the other side. So they're moving in. A guy's playing one up on the bank as I'm talking now. Look at that. So the old mainline baits, can't beat it. Everywhere we go, they get on it. Look at that. Woohoo! 52, 250s today, and a 49. And we've still got 3 hours to go. Let's have it. 50 pound, 8 ounce. Look at that. Same rod as the 50 just now. There's 3 50s, 49, and a 15 pounder today. Look at that, day 2. That's not bad, is it? Woo! Get some of that down ya. 7 fish, 3 50s, 40s, 20s and doubles. And this girl, PB out of this lake's my third 60 pounder, weighed on professional scales, certified scales, witnessed by 5 buff anglers here. 60 pound, 8 ounce girl. Let's try and get her up because she snagged me up and I got her out to snag it. It's just a bit of a grind and a bit of luck and a bit of strong tackle, got her out. Look at that girl, look at that. 60 pound 8. Morning anglers, this is day 3 of the Texas trip. I've been here about 6 days. I think coming on, 6 days I think, yeah. And I've just been travelling around looking at different lakes and stuff, and the weather's been unbelievable. The local buffalo anglers and stuff have said like it's so much rain, it's been really cold, and fishing's been not too bad. You know, certain places there's fish better than others, and some places it's been really hard. So I've been to 4 different places now, different lakes and resis and that, and it was just either too windy, like 4-foot waves, and accessible. The water was so high you just couldn't get into a couple of the known swims. The water was up in the trees, and it was just hard. You know, it'd be hard work. I mean, you know, you're looking over 160 to 190,000 acres, and you don't want to be chancing it in a swim, thinking, well, this would do because the top swim I can't fish, but this one would do. I mean, it can't just do. You know what I mean? Unless you want to waste time and that. So. As you always know, it's always location. It's the key mainly. It's the you know, if you can get fish in front of you feeding, then you can catch them on pretty much anything, you know. But yeah, the buffalo and that, they do show, but they normally show over bait. It's strange, like they don't seem to be eating natural, and they jump and roll everywhere. You get the odd one here and the odd one there, but it's not like carp. You get like shoals of them and they jump and that when they're feeding naturally, and then you can pinpoint them. But the buffs, and when buffs don't jump, they sort of just stick their back fins out and they roll and they go down. So if you've got a bit of a chop, you can't see them, and it's just staring out there, or you know, there's a baited spot on a marker that you're staring at constantly, and you will see the odd ones roll over your bait when they move through. But yeah, so I just got here on day 3. I just put out about 2 kilos of range cubes and the old stuff, bit of corn and stuff, you know, freshened the baits up, new rigs, back on the excuse me, back on the same spot as yesterday and the day before. Say day 1 there was two bites on day 1. I think a 49 and a 50 if I remember. I'm sort of losing count, which is it's a bit cheeky really, isn't it? But I'm not writing them down, but obviously they're on the video. And then yesterday was like was it 7 runs. I had a 15 the smallest, and the second one was 35, and then they went up to 49, and then 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, then obviously a nice 60 pound 8 ounce, which is my PB out of this lake here. 51 was my biggest about 6-7 years ago, but I only fished it a couple of days and that was it. But I've got a bit more knowledge, and I'm on my sort of 5th trip now down here, moving around, so I'm sort of picking it all up. It's a bit like carping, but the rigs are a little bit different, not much, a little bit different, and the way they feed is different and stuff. So yeah, but it's all a challenge when you're sitting on like a pond of 200,000 acres. I mean, that's a pond over here in Texas. It's not called a lake, it's called a pond. It's like the locals went, yeah, it's only 200 or it's 190,000. It's like, what? You know, 190,000 acres. I mean, you can't see up here. I mean, I drove one of the lakes, and that was close to 200,000 acres. I drove down one side. Just, I mean, the road wanders up and down from north to west, north to south, and yeah, and it was like 78 mile just down one side of the lake. 78 mile. You got to get that into your head. I mean, that's one way. Then you've got the width at the bottom, you know, which is probably another 20 miles or whatever, and then you've got to go up another 78 miles to get to the other side, just to have a look and see if there's any swims to fish, or fish showing, or the wind's blowing, or whatever. It's just, yeah, it's just bang. It's mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing, and it gets me. I mean, I fish at St. Lawrence, and St. Lawrence is 800 miles long, 3 miles wide in places, so that's horrendous as well. So big waters don't scare me. It just makes it harder to find them, and it sometimes takes days and days to be lucky enough to fall in a spot where they're coming through in a shoal. Whether they stay or feed is another ball game, isn't it? All you can do is do your best, fish accurate as you can, get the bottom nice and clean, or a drop off, or a between weed beds or whatever, and just work it out, the swim, and obviously bait up, and give it some of that, bit of fingers crossed. You know what I mean? running towards me. It was a drop back, but starting to get bites. It's getting that afternoon now. It's about, I think it's cut like around at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which is bite time. It's bite time. Buffalo Soldier. It's gone over. It's gone over. Let's go the other side. Getting a little bit of a pickle here. Under one, over the other one, back under this one. That's what it's all about. Whew. There we go. It's the first bite of today, so a little bit anxious, you know. A little bit anxious, yeah. It's the old buff. Look at that. It's aggressive, that one. That's a small buff. Looks about upper 20s, 30. That's a baby, but any buff is a good buff when you've got your first actual one hooked. It's been very tricky today on the old fishing. Buffalo Soldier, come on, get in there. It's a baby, but hey, that'll do. That will do. Oh, no, no, you cunt. I couldn't pick it up. It got away. Beep. Morning, guys. Well, we're still at the same place. This is, or day 3 was yesterday. You'll probably see on the video, I had one, I didn't weigh it, it was, I don't know, it was in the 20s or whatever. But I didn't actually get it on camera, as you see. I picked it up and it went down, I picked it up. I was in the water, I was in like 18 inches of water, and it just kept flipping and going back in the water, and then eventually it just swam off, so. That's what it's all about. But it's only, if it was a big one, I would have put it in the cradle and all that, and obviously sort of protected it so it wouldn't swim away. But because it was small, I was just trying to get a quick shot and obviously release. But it swam off on its own anyway, so happy days. So yeah, only one bite all day long, red hot, 72 degrees, wind blowing away as it still is today. Southwesterly, it's going to get real strong later. Which is not the right wind. We want a northerly or an easterly or something coming in this way, but beggars can't be choosers, you know. You're on holiday, you got time frames, so you just got to keep pushing at it. So yeah, there's a storm coming over now. It's going to absolutely hammer down soon, so I'm just doing a quick one. So yeah, so this is day 4. I've only just cast out, been out there 20 minutes, just put out half a bucket of cubes and some corn and bits and pieces out there, freshen the baits up. And because the wind's been blowing away, the fish yesterday, what I see, they were about 100 to more 140. Like I see about 5 or 6 buff roll, but they were 20 yards or maybe so more. Obviously it sort of shelfers off like this as it goes out and out and out, and the wind's blowing this way, so it's just took them out further. If the wind obviously blows this way, which it's meant to be Thursday, obviously the fish will come up onto the ledge and come closer. But so what I did, I was doing 21 wraps yesterday, and I had the one run. But so what I've done 25 wraps, and 25 wraps is sort of pushing it when you got a 4-ounce lead and a ball like this on it, you know, because I'm pack baiting. So to whack a pack bait out that distance with a little bit of wind behind me, it does help, and if it blows later, it'll help a little bit more. But I'm just getting it just about on it, you know, hitting the clip, just about 25 wraps. So I wouldn't push it no further than that unless it's extreme windy. So yeah, I put half a bucket out, of each. So like it's going to kill it, obviously if there's anything in the area, to kill it for a little while, and just wait, hopefully a shoal will shift through on the deeper ledge where I see them jump in yesterday. So yeah, I'm just trying to chase them at the minute, which is you know, it's extreme range fishing really with a method, casting from the bank and spomming. So yeah, it's hard work, but yeah, we just keep pushing through, see if we can put them big old buffs back on this camera, see what day four brings. Laters. Well, if you're in Texas, this is what you got to see. Hello. Hellos. 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 Look at the little bugger, look, he thinks he's food. Good boy, yeah. Right, anglers, as you can see, the venue's changed. Yeah, I was on my third day. Yeah, just blank, nothing. The wind was pumping away from me on a southwesterly, on a southerly, blowing over my head. And I've done some echoing and that today. I fished half a day there, and done some echoing, and there was nothing. There was no fish at casting range, and I was fishing 115 over a bed of bait for the last 3 days, and nothing, completely no fish there. So I've just popped out and this jump on another venue. So this is afternoon 1 on a new venue. As you can see, it's the Colorado River. Some of you guys know what it is, so I'm not going to name all the places. If you know where it is, then you know where it is. If you don't, you don't. Just protect the local carp anglers, and mainly the bow hunters don't really get involved, you know. So yeah, so I've just got the baits out 5 minutes ago. You can see the rods along here. It's about a 90 maybe 100-yard chuck into the Colorado, just slightly over halfway across. Yeah, see what happens. Give it a go. Give it tonight and in the morning, and see what happens, and then play it by ear. I'll sign off, and hopefully I'll come back with a slippery carp buff, or a grassy, you never know. Tight line, guys. There we go. This is number 3 take. Small grassy. The other one was about a 15 pound, 14 pound common, and this one's 26 pound off the Colorado River. So that's my biggest one so far on evening 1 on the new venue of the Colorado River. Look at that girl. Nice old carp. Happy days. It's about half 2. Well, morning guys. Yeah, beautiful night. Quite warm. No wind, no rain. So first night on the Colorado. Yeah, so as you see on the video, I think it was a 26 if I remember. I had a 15 I think, and a small little grassy. 3 bites, 3 fish. Nothing showing around, nothing really jumping. Other than that, that was it. So it's just got light. It's about 6:30 in the morning. I don't know whether to skedaddle off or skedaddle's day. I don't know. So yeah, I'm just gonna make my mind up what I'm gonna do. There's the old van there where I stayed.
got everything I need. I've got a power pack, got with bait, bed chair set up inside here, as you can see. Got a TV. I've been watching a bit of UK TV here, so it's not been too sad. So yeah, so rods are still out. Let's see if anything happens this morning, or whether I'll shift off and go back to the original lake where I had the bus from. So I'm not too sure. I'll have a look at the weather, check it all out, and then I'll get back to you. I'll see you a little bit later.
Well, yeah, guys, yeah, I packed up from the Colorado River. Say I had a small, I said I had a carp, like 3 carp to 26 pound. So I'm back at the lake where I had the big buffs. So weather's wrong. Weather tomorrow is Thursday and Friday. They're like spot on weather. So that's what I'm looking forward. But today's a bonus day there. It was calm and it just looked a bit whatever. Plus I'm here for the buffs, I'm not here for the carp, because as you know, Canadian Carping Holidays bangs the carp out. So check CanadianCarping.com out if you want commons on the St. Lawrence Wild. But I'm down here for buffs in Tex, so a bit of food, bit of van life cooking. It's the only way to do it. Rods are out behind us, 23 wraps, and we're in about 16 foot of water, but I ain't seen anything jump. It's dead calm, bit misty this morning, but wind in your face is the best way. Northerly, easterly, northerly is the better wind here. But today I think it's a slightly south wind going over the back of me. So we just see what happens. It's no good sitting in a place where it's just full of commons when I'm after a big old buff. After a 65 pound plus buff, that's my record buff in Texas. So I mean, I scraped it by the 60 pound 8 ounce 3 days ago, but let's see if I can get a 65 plus. I'm going to keep pushing away. Here we go. Bit of soup's on. Get a bit of scran in the old gut. Feel a bit better. Have a little bit of a chill today. If we get a 1 or 2 or whatever, and if we get anything, it'd be a bonus. So today's just a chill out day. Bit of food, bit of sort of from the van fishing. Not so much sitting on the rods waiting for bites. So I'm going to be chilling out. So if one goes, happy days. But Thursday, Friday, I'm going to be on it like a rocket. So see you later, boys. Well, guys, not a lot to report really. It's half a day gone. I think it's it's the first day back at the lake, but it's like the 4th day actually fishing this lake this week. This actual lake. Cut a long story short, then the weather was going from 80 down to about 14, and on the Thursday, which is today, and Friday it's going to drop down to -4 at night. That's tonight to early tomorrow, Friday morning. and I think it's going to be like 9 or 8 or 9 or maybe 10 tomorrow. Unreal. It's gone from absolutely scorching, boiling, red hot wind and sun and God knows what else, and the fishing died and there was a southwesterly wind. Now it's turned and gone northeasterly and gone freezing. It's so windy. Temperature don't really bother me. I can handle that because I've got the comforts, but it's like I've got 2 foot waves out there hitting me in the face. It's bringing in weed now, like the blanket weed. It goes on your line and knocks you up and you can't read it through your rings, and so within every sort of hour or max you got to reel back in, and it's an effort to chuck. And then I was fishing like round a ton 15. Now the wind's like that in my face with a method ball on like that, which is all like 6 ounces with a ball. You know, I'd be lucky to get 70, 75. You know, I've sticked it out on the sticks, and sometimes I just get it. Sometimes I'm just shy of about 70 yards. So you need to be a bit further out, really, realistically, yeah, just to get into that bottom, that slight next shelf drop off, yeah. But you just can't do it with this wind. I mean, I've got the IS 200s, 13 foots, the Meg reels. I've got everything you need to fish extreme range, and I can fish 115 with a pack on a normal wind behind me, or even a normal wind or no wind. But with 2 foot waves in my face, I think it's 35 mile an hour winds gusting to 43 or 44 miles an hour in my face. It's too much. It's too much. I just can't. All I can do is just chuck out as far as I can, and which is not far enough. But what can you do? I mean, if you was on your local water, you'll definitely pack up and go home, because it is really unfishable. But because I'm 2,000 miles from home, 2,000 miles from home, 2-day drive, I'm not going to be venturing home too soon. So it's either this, sit in a motel, or sit in van, comfortable, with the rods out, having problems, but got a chance of that one run, and it could be a record-breaking fish. So what do you do? Obviously you got to keep on fishing. So yeah, so I'm going to push it through Friday tomorrow, and my plan is to fish Saturday as well, which I know the wind's turning again, but I'm going to try and push it for Saturday, and then motel Saturday night, and then stiggly-boodly-doodly-doo down to San Rayburn, and fish around that area, and give it a little bit of a whirl there. So fingers crossed something happens the next 3 days here, or this weather drops a little bit. I don't know. Anyway, hopefully everyone out there is catching fish and learning a bit. I've definitely learned and got some experience on what's going on down even extreme weathers as well. So yeah, tie lines, boys, and hopefully I'll sign in sometime in the next 3 days with a fish or something very interesting. Laters. There you go. I don't know if you can hear me in this wind. 48 pound buff. Look how fat she is. One take, single tiger nut, no pack, fishing at 70 metres. Happy days. Look at this. Look at this weather. I don't know if you can hear me. It's so windy. There's another buffalo soldier. There we go. This is 46 pound. Woo-hoo. Second one. Look at that. On this day. The camera's probably shaking because it's so windy. Woo-hoo. can't believe it, guys. This is my, the wind keeps blowing. Whoa, I can't believe it, I'm blown away. It's my third bite. I've had two upper 40s and I've just done my PB out of this lake again. The other one was 60 pound, 8 ounce, that was what, 3 days ago. And I've just done it with a 62. 62 on the nose. Look at that girl. 62 on the nose. Woohoo! Look at that. Get on the main line. Absolutely slamming it. She is slamming it. 62. Woohoo! Well, morning guys. Just got the rods out there. Just cast them out. It's just got first light. I think it's just gone 6 o'clock. This is obviously yesterday was a free bite day up to 62 and a couple of upper 40s, so not too bad. But this is the second day of the north wind and it's freezing. It's like it was -3 last night, sleeping in the van, so it was a little bit cold, but this is spot on weather, spot on wind, cold, buffs like it. Let's get it on and get these buffs on the bank. I've got a friend coming down a little bit later, a local guy who's had the record out of this lake, and he's going to fish for a couple of days with me and see if we can bang out a couple of more vids, more fish for this vids. So subscribe down there, keep going on this channel, yeah, a load of more videos coming up from Canada and obviously US, and I'm getting back to that. So laters and tight lines, hopefully, for everyone out there who's fishing through the winter. Bye for now. Keeping in the old van, it was like -4 overnight. Now it's not bad. It's about 8-9 degrees. So it's going to be mainly sunny today, which is a blessing. I'm sitting in the van, as you can see, and the van's at an angle. The wind's hitting it the other side, so it breaks it up, and it's sort of yeah, it probably feels about 14 or so degrees where the sun coming in from the door this way, you know. Anyway, rabbling on. Yeah, just tied up some rigs, some 5-inch hook lengths. I had to change the leads. I was using 4 1/4 ounce grippers with pack. My little mate's down here. There's a little bird that keeps. Oh, I've got a bite. See, it's one of the morning. It's only a double. I don't know, it's about 14, maybe 15 pound. But first take, and it's early. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning, so that's an early take for the old buffs. So things are looking good for a little bit later, and for the next biggie to come along. Woohoo! Well, hi anglers. Yeah, it's been a it's been a real bad, messed up day, as you get now and then carp fishing. Yeah, I had that little 15 pounder this morning. Then I had an hook pull. Then it went dead for ages and ages, and the wind was pumping, and the wind dropped off, and then rebaited and got all things back into play. Got a local guy who fishes a lot, who's done really well here, and then I had a take about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and yeah, played the thing right into about 3 rod lengths out from the landing net, and the guy was wading out with waders, got chest waders on, and you know, getting ready to land the fish. The fish come up, shook its head, and the local guy said, he was right near it, he said, oh, that's well upper 50s, maybe in the 60s. And yeah, it rolled over and the hook pulled. The hook pulled out and the fish just laid there, but it was out of depth, you know, it was like 3 rod lengths away from the landing net, and it just went, and then it just went down, and yeah, I've lost it. So yeah, and the guy banged a 42 or 43 pounder out just about half hour ago, and then he had another take and that come off. So yeah, they're just not feeding that well, you know, all the time that we're putting in here, and all the other days we seem to banked everything, and today it's just been one of them days, you know. You get them when you're looking at your rigs, you're putting more hooks on, and you're really going over the top of everything, and you're getting worried and paranoid, and the next take you lose it. So I had 3 pickups, so I think we had 5 between us. So it's slow considering the actual conditions we're in. We're in spot on conditions, but yeah, 5 fish. But if we'd have landed that one I lost, it would have made the day for sure. I mean, that would have been another stonker of a fish. But yeah, we're going to hang on a little bit later this time, just before dark, which we don't normally. We normally shoot like skedaddle, as we say, get out of here. But I'm hanging in there a little bit longer because the weather's dropped, like the wind's dropped, and it's looking a little bit it's quite nice for the afternoon actually. So anyway, you know, if we get a bite, it's going to be one out the blue now because it's gone bite time now. So I'm going to sign off, and I'm probably going to come back tomorrow morning, which is probably my last day at this lake, and then venture on to a different lake. It's like a 5-hour journey away from here. So depending on what happens tomorrow, whether I leave or stay another couple of days, depends on the weather. But it's looking like this could be tomorrow's my last day here on this place, and it's been tremendous. You know, I've learnt a lot and caught some good fish, and met some good people and some good friends, and some more friends on Messenger and Instagram and stuff. So yeah, so tight line, boys, if you're out there again. Keep the confidence up, keep the bait going in, keep on the old, and you'll land them old big uns. Until next time. Morning, anglers. Yeah, I got here really early, first light, last day, and put the rods out. As you can see, there's no wind, so I can get all your baits placed properly without them drifting, blah blah blah. And bite, bang, 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 bang. 3 buffs as quick as that, but they were all small. This is the sort of biggest one. I'll just show you the bigger one. The other ones I let go. There you go. It's an upper 20. Didn't weigh it. It's probably like 27, something like that. Maybe 26. But we'll weigh the big fish, hopefully today. Look at that. Ain't a bad start. 3 on the bounce. The others were like around the 20 mark, scraper. If that, maybe 18, 19s. So yeah, I thought I'd show you this one. Let's get the rods back out and see if we can bang one in big uns out. Well, there we go. It's another small one. It's the 4th one this morning. It's a low 20, but we're getting a few bites. That's what it's all about. Hopefully the big uns are moving a little bit later, but I'm happy catching a few of these. Happy days. Come on, look at this. That's that. There you go. It's probably a scraper 30. It's gone a bit slow for about 3 hours, but this one rattles off on the actual main line pop-up, the old IB. There she is. Woohoo! Not bad, little Buffy. Let's get the rod back out. Let's get amongst them again. Well, I'm in a shoulder small one today. Totally different. They actually gone a little bit dotty, you know, when they start, the old bream do, like they start getting going in their spawning stage. Yeah, this one's dotty, so that's why they're shoaling up on the smaller fish now, yeah, in their packs. If I can get her up. Come on. There we go. It's probably a little male. It's an upper double. Look at that, but it's another one for the book. Let's go on and get some more. Woohoo! Little baby. It's the 8th one today. So it's my record breaking buff day on here. But unfortunately all small. But old Jammy up there, he's banged another, it looks like another 60 out. So woohoo! Let's try and get at least a 40 out here. There you go. Guys, you see I had that sort of upper 20 buff and had 2 smaller ones. Still getting the bangs and the knocks. Just giving you a little update. Yesterday, that wind, that was it was a brilliant day, but a bad day for me. I was teamed up with one of my friends here from Austin, and he done well. He actually had a 62.4, I think it was. I had a 15 pounder, you should probably see on the video. I had 4 bites, like they either fell off or I picked it right up, they weren't there. It was just one of them days in that strong wind. I changed the rigs to compensate for the wind and the drift and the drag and whatever, but it just didn't work. I mean, bigger leads just cause more problems and stuff like that, but I had to fish that way because of the I had like 25 mile an hour winds at my face. I mean, you know, I have to get a certain range, and to do that I have to go up to a 5-ounce lead, which is not cool really. So anyway, I've gone back to original rigs, no wind, and yeah, it got to 4 o'clock just before he had a 62. I had a take, played it all the way in, got it about 4 or 5 rod lengths away from the net. I was up on the bank, I could see it pretty good, but he was up the front. He's had buffs to 69 and stuff. He's had a few 60s and 50s, so he knows what he's doing, you know. And he rolled over, and it literally come out, rolled right over, and he went, "That is a big fish." He said, "If that ain't 60, that's like on the border around the 60 mark." See, the buffs come up, some buffs come up thinner. They're big framed, but they're thin. Yeah, not all of them like that, but some are thin and some are real wide. They're like 14 inches wide with their little heads. But if they've got the gut and the length and that width, obviously, as we all know, they will, you know, hold 5, 6, 7 pound more. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'm getting knocks and bops on the old ball there, so there's buffs out there still. Just stuck a few more kilo out. Anyway, this fish rolled over, and he said, that's bordering 60 pound, bordering 60 pound. And it rolled over, and it just because they're white, like, you know, they're very ghosty looking. You could see them in the water, you know, because it's pretty clear. And it shook its head and shook its head and shook its head and shook its head, and then the hook come out. It was just too deep to wade out and to get it, and it just rolled and laid there and went down. And yeah, I would guess it around the scraper 60 mark. But hey, we all lose fish. I've had a good time here. This is my last day. I've had a good time. I've had a couple of 60s. I've had 6 50s. I think I've had about 5 or 6 40s. A couple of 35 and a couple of around the low 30s, and I think I've had about 5 in the 15 to sort of 25, 26 pound range or so. So ain't been bad, you know. I've banked most of the fish I've hooked. So let's see what today brings, the last day. I'll come back to you and show you what's going on. I just stuck another half a bucket of range cubes out, so I've just been spotting my head off, and my arm's aching again. I'll definitely need a day off and a rest, really. Yeah, checked into a motel tonight, not sleeping in the van, get in the motel, get a good shower, good rest. Got a 5-hour drive to the next lake, which makes this lake look like a puddle. The next lake is absolutely, well, it's 150,000 acre plus, so yeah, it's one of the biggest lakes in Texas, so yeah, fingers crossed.